Welcome to the north of England and to the Great CityGames Manchester, now in its 7th year. There are 10 track events, 3 field events, and great anticipation for the return of Olympic heptathlon champion Jessica Ennis-Hill, her first outing since giving birth to Reggie earlier on this year. She competes in the 100-metre hurdles. I'm joined in the commentary box by Tim Hutchins.
Yes, and this is particularly interesting because of the presence of DAFNE Skippers there, the Dutch athlete in lane 2, only 22 years old, Skippers, but she was the global sprint sensation last year, quite frankly. And away they go. Good start from Skippers. Asher Smith too holds the lead and has got a good lead. But can Skippers come back at her here? There's a massive lead for Asher Smith. Pouring it on here. Goes through 100. What will the split be there at 100? 11:21. Close to her personal best. The Dutch is coming back at her, but she's not going to get there. And indeed, that's a wonderful victory for DINA Asher Smith. Skippers there did misjudge it. Didn't get out hard enough. And then when she really turned it on, found the legs going from under her. Was almost stumbling those last 10 or 15 metres. She gets away so well, Stu.
Yes, she does, and she builds on it, doesn't she? She's a real talent, very close to 11 flat now for the 100 metres. Look how Skippers appears to be coming through now, but she ties up and stumbles into the line. They're totally misjudging the end of that race. But looked like ONUORA in 3rd and Smith in 4th. But this is a very, very good run indeed. By DINA Smith, World Junior Champion in 2014. She's come on enormously over the last season. As you say, she's only a youngster, and that was experience versus the youth of tomorrow, quite clearly.
Well, a very impressive win there for DINA Asher Smith, the youngster. Her first outdoor race of 2015, 16.82, a personal best over Skippers' 16.95. Very close to her lifetime best there, Skippers. I had it at 16.93, I have to say. ONUORA and STACEY and Smith in 3rd and 4th.
It's always a bit scary coming out like in May, like early May, because you're like, oh, I think I've been training well, but obviously you've got to make sure that translates to a race, and I'm really, really happy that it did.
Here we go, there it is, PEDROSO of Italy, drawn on the inside, then Child of Great Britain in 2, BEESLEY of Great Britain, the defending Manchester City Games champion, and then Katrina Johnson-Thompson of Great Britain, the heptathlete, in tremendous form the last season, at the end of last season. Well, the stride pattern is a tough one here. And BEESLEY going well. Look on the right side, PEDROSO absolutely fine. But look at this. This is BEESLEY coming away from this field with Johnson-Thompson on the near side. But BEESLEY going very strongly indeed. Johnson-Thompson running a very fine race. BEESLEY's going to take this again, I think. Or is she? It's going to be very, very close at the finish, on that finish line. Johnson-Thompson coming through on the last hurdle. And BEESLEY just gets it. Johnson-Thompson in 2nd place. In 3rd place, PEDROSO. And Child in 4th place. But that was 50 metres, 12:51, 18:57 at 100, 25:29, and that's not her personal best, but I have to say that was a pretty good race, and Edie Child had all sorts of problems on that one, didn't she? It is a tough one, this. I've run the race around the bend myself, and it is a very, very interesting race indeed. It's no longer in the international calendar generally, but it's good to see it here.
Well, fascinating race, Stuart, because MEGHAN BEESLEY here, you think, has the race sewn up. But on the near side, look, Johnson-Thompson, very powerfully built, the heptathlete, comes back at her, snatches the lead, and then misjudges the final barrier. Look here, she's in the lead, misjudges this one completely, staggers there, and loses it by 2 or 3 inches. She really let that one go. MEGHAN BEESLEY did everything she could to keep her at bay. Johnson-Thompson there has the lead, skies that one, she's way, way up in the air, and loses it over the last 4 or 5 strides.
There it is, BEESLEY, Johnson-Thompson, PEDROSO and Child in that order. The winning time, 25.28.
I think I got a bit excited this year, went off a bit fast. Got to kind of hurdle 7 and was thinking, oh no, got another 3 to go, but I got to the end, it's fine.
Didn't realise how far it looks until it's on a straight, so it's a bit daunting. Standing on the start and not being able to see the finish line, but you know, it's a bit of fun, and I got through it in the end, so.
Well, the next event on the track, the men's 200-metre hurdles, and what a quality lineup it is. Sebastian RODGER of Great Britain goes in 1. Then FELIX Sanchez, twice an Olympic champion, the reigning Olympic champion at 400-metre hurdles in 2. Van Zyl, a former World Junior champion, goes in lane 3 for South Africa. Ray Stewart in lane 4 for the USA.
In lane 1.
Away they go. Who's first to rise? Van Zyl, second to left, has gone away very quickly and leads at the moment. The South African looking strong. Roger going well too to ride a picture for Van Zyl with a good lead on the near side. Ray Stewart in the red is also chasing hard. Sanchez has got a lot of work to do over on the far side, as has Seb Roger. But look at Veljay Van Zyl. He's steaming away with this one. That's a fabulous run from the South African. Don't let's forget, he comes off the South African season, so he is sharp. They've had their summer. It's still summer almost, or in fact autumn, I suppose you could say, down in South Africa. 1.8 meters per second the following win, and that for Van Zyl was a totally dominant performance. Very, very impressive indeed.
He really is an erratic hurdler. I've seen him so many times over 400-meter hurdles. Sub 48, close to 47 at his best, but he can be very, very off colour so often, as Tim mentioned early on. But on this day, he looks very, very good indeed. His hurdle technique is good. He gets down to the ground very quickly, and he absolutely destroys the rest of the field. Sanchez nowhere near it this time. Ray Stewart coming through into second place on his first venture over 200-meter hurdles. But 22.11, if that's confirmed, we'll wait and see whether that is confirmed. 22.10 is the record, as I say.
It was a world best, 22.10, equaling the City Games record for the South African Van Zyl. He wins from Ray Stewart, 22.85, a very good debut at the distance. And Sanchez third, with Seb Roger a close fourth in that one.
It was a nice race, and what a privilege to run against my friend and Olympic champion, Felix Sanchez. He gave me goosebumps before the race, and he definitely inspired me.
In the women's pole vault, next up was Katharina Bauer. She'd seen Bruni and Gadshev go out at this opening height of 4 meters and 10, and this was her third attempt, which in the end kept her in the competition. There was an air of relief, most definitely. Melissa Gergel got her 4:10 at the third attempt, and this was her first attempt at 4:20, and that took her into the lead ahead of the favourite, VADISLEIDY Silva of Cuba. Well, the Cuban now cleared 4:20 on a third attempt, and this is her third attempt at 4:30, and that clearance was good enough to take the first place. So, the women's pole vault, an end to that event, with Silva leading over Gergel in second place and Bauer in third. But let's have a look at this lineup then. Kim Collins of St Kitts and Nevis then drawn in lane 1. Richard Kilty of Great Britain in 2. Mike Rogers, USA in 3. And CHUINDU UJAH of Great Britain in lane 4. Away without any problem. UJAH's got away well on the near side, and Rogers going well in the nearest side here, and Collins has got a little bit of work to do. Looks like Mike Rogers at the moment, and Mike Rogers got that, I think, with Kilty in second, Collins in third, UJAH, well, 0.6 meters per second, 10.26. Look at this, they got away well, didn't they? But look at Rogers on the near side, he looks so strong, doesn't he? UJAH on the near side looked to be going with him, Kilty coming through, and on the far side, yeah, that's how I gave it, that was quite right. It was Rogers, Kilty and Collins in that order.
Well, CJ UJAH on the near side actually led out of the block, Stuart, and he was picked up very quickly by Rogers there, who's had several outdoor races. Interestingly, CJ UJAH on the near side is the only one of the 4 that hasn't had any outdoor races prior to this, so he's not really sharp. The others have had 1 or 2 sharpening races. Good run that from Kilty. Winning time a little bit disappointing. Nobody in the world has broken 10 seconds today, and they certainly haven't in Manchester.
Rogers 10.25, Kilty 10.29, Collins 10.33, UJAH 10.35. Good race.
I've done well the last 2 seasons indoors, so now with the focus on the outdoor season, with a big 2 years ahead of us, so everything's for the 100 and the 200 now. So just looking forward to the summer, really.
So there it is, the women's 100 metres. Bianca Williams goes in lane 1. English Gardner, 4th in the World Championships 2 years ago, goes in lane 2 over 100 metres. Ashley Nelson in 3, and then Jessica Young of USA in lane 4. Bianca Williams in 1, English Gardner 2, Ashley Nelson their 3rd from right, 2nd to left in 3, and Jessica Young in lane 4. Well, away they go. Good start from English Gardner. Kept very low on the near side, though. Jessica Young gets the jump on them. Coming back now, English Gardner on the far side in the orange with a headband. It's a battle between the two Americans. They're well ahead of the Brits. And she didn't need to dip there, but Jessica Young almost needed to win on the near side from English Gardner. And that's some scalp for her. 11.33. Still wins, still air. So they were lucky there, the ladies.
No false starts at all so far this year.
Jessica Young, Stuart, very quick into her running here on the near side.
Yeah, she got the race in the first 20 metres or so, and English Gardner just didn't have enough time to catch her. But Jessica Young on the near side does eventually get it as English Gardner looks across. But remember, Jessica Young's had a full indoor season. Second in the US Indoor Championships over 60 metres, so hence the starting. I mean, she's obviously very powerful the first half of the race, so it showed there. But English Gardner is a class act, 10.85 a couple of seasons ago, still working to get a little bit of edge, as one would expect at this early part of the season. And of course, those two in first and second, the United States, will be confirmed in a moment.
Jessica Young then winning 11.33, a season's best for her in still air in Manchester. English Gardner second, 11.37. And the Britons a little out of sorts today, has to be said. Well beaten, Ashley Nelson and Bianca Williams in third and fourth.
First race of the season, happy to be out here in Manchester, the crowd's amazing. Fortunately, I wasn't able to put on the best of shows. Onwards and upwards, that's all I can say really.
We had a fantastic season last season, European bronze medalist in the individual event and then relay gold. And you've just been at the World Relay, so what was that like to be part of the team again?
Yeah, it's amazing to run with all the girls. I mean, you've got Bianca here, the fantastic British sprinting, female sprinting especially, is coming into form. So hopefully I can get back and the rest of the girls can get back in the form they were in the summer.
There's the men's 100 metres T44, the lineup here for SANCHEZ, Brown, Hertog and De Marino of Italy, but an outstanding favourite here in Richard Brown in the second lane. Brown gets away well on their side. De Marino going quite well too. But look at this from Richard Brown. I said he was an exceptional athlete, and so he is. He's absolutely flying away from this field. Brilliant, 11 seconds, plus 1 metre per second. So Richard Brown, of course, it went very much with the script there. He was the dominant favourite for that race, this American who is the world's #1. There's no question about that. De Marino of Italy got a good start on the near side, but was soon fading away as the others ran him down. But there was one man exceptional in this race.
Well, as you said, Stuart, he would be dominant, and indeed he was. It was an exhibition run, frankly. 11 seconds dead is way, way quicker than any of the others have ever run.
Greece 2, Netherlands and Italy battling for third place.
Yep, it was down 100th of a second. Thought it might be. Several of the sprints have. Brown then 10.99. SATIS 11.57. A national record for him, and Hertog in third with the season's best of 11.95.
But I'm excited about the race. It was great to see new guys like SATIS and get to see Ronald again. So it shows that the sport is growing. We have a great crowd supporting us, so it was a great race.
Well, in the men's long jump, Dan Bramble, the UK indoor champion, now 5th on the all-time list, was in the first round jumping quite well. A nice hang technique took him to 7 metres and 80. It's just a slight headwind on that one, but that was the lead at that early stage. Greg Rutherford, the Olympic champion, the European champion, the Commonwealth champion, looking forward to a World Championships this year, in the first round, went into the lead with 8 metres and 1. Wonderful sprint speed on the runway for Rutherford and good lift off the board. Now, I just wondered at that stage whether Mike Hartfield could get close to Rutherford. He's an 8 metre plus jumper, a nice little hitch kick technique, and it looked to be close. But the result was 7 metres and 95, not quite enough. And so Greg Rutherford, the winner at 8.01, Mike Hartfield got second with 7.95, and Dan Bramble, 7.80 in third. Greg Rutherford enjoyed this moment, and so did the crowd.
I tell you what, these are one of the best events there are in the world. You get so close to the crowd, you get everybody behind you, you get a chance to showcase what is such a great event. So for me, I love doing them, and it's always good to come away with a win. But as I say, I just wanted to jump that a little bit further.
Well, we can go now to the men's 150 metres. There is the lineup. James Ellington in 1 for Great Britain. Curtis Mitchell goes in lane 2. Good sprinter, Mitchell. Bronze medalist in the World Championships in Moscow 2 years ago at 200. Martina in 3, and Danny Talbot goes in lane 4.
This time they're away.
A very even start there, Talbot away the best perhaps, and turning it on here and easing away. Ellington going well on the far side. Ellington leading now as Talbot is caught, but coming through very strongly is Martina, and Mitchell's out with a hamstring, I think, but very strong at the finish there, and it's coming through is Martina. Oh my word. James Ellington, the 200-metre specialist, having the legs go from under him there over the last 20 or 30 metres. CHURANDY Martina running the best judged race of all of them. And maybe that experience, he is the eldest in the field, maybe that experience telling. Very, very strong run indeed from Martina to run the full 150 all the way. Mitchell pulls up, he's gone. But you can see that Talbot, who started so well, rocking from side to side there, but unable to do anything about Martina's coming past him. Martina then 15.21, sub-15 territory was elusive. Danny Talbot 15.30, Ellington 15.37. Curtis Mitchell, let's hope it's not a bad injury.
Well, the reigning European champion at 100 metres and 200 metres, DAFNE Schippers of the Netherlands in the long jump too, and hang technique in the first round took her to 6 metres and 40. She'd already run a 150 earlier on, and was second to DINA Asher-Smith of Great Britain in that. A very good performance by the British youngster. But now, what could Jimo do? 6:40 was the best performance thus far, and this jump, with that simple little hang technique, took her to 6 metres and 33. So Jimo, Olympic finalist back in Beijing in 2008, the US indoor champion this year, 6:33. Well, Jasmine Sawyers then in the 4th round at a best of 6:26 thus far, but on this occasion hit the board perfectly and sailed out to 6 metres and 44. And Sawyers, with that distance, found it good enough to win. It's world class in every sense, this. Harris Merritt of the United States, Orlando Ortega of Cuba, David Oliver, USA, and Lawrence Clark of Great Britain. Absolutely world class. No problem with the start at all, those big 7 strides. Lawrence going, Clark going well on the near side, and here goes Ortega on the far side, and also David Oliver going straight. Ortega, and look at Merritt on the far side. Ortega and Merritt, these two. I think Merritt got it from Ortega, I think so. It was very, very close, 13:33. I think Merritt got it, but we'll have to wait and see. It was very, very close between these two. They all got away pretty well, but Lawrence Clark on the near side. Now watch the far 2. David Oliver losing a little bit of ground here. Watch as they come to the... Oh, he stumbled off that hurdle, didn't he? Now, did Merritt get his vest in front? Very difficult to tell. It's almost a dead heat. We'll have to wait and get the official verdict. Let's look again at that.
I think Ortega might have taken it on the dip. Very tight indeed. He was coming, Oliver, and clipped that barrier really hard. Did well stay on his feet, but look at it on the near side. No! Oh, from that angle, impossible to say. 2 metres out, looked like Merritt had got it. Then Ortega dipped so well, just waiting for it to be confirmed.
Well, I think that'll take a while, actually. David Oliver's gone down. Yeah, I hope he hasn't hurt himself, because he's got a big race to come. Let's have a look. I thought Merritt, but it was Ortega. 13:32, both the same time. I'm surprised they've separated them, really, because it looked to me as though Merritt had probably got the best, but both at 13.32.
At this early stage.
Ennis-Hill there stripping down along with the other athletes, looking very nervous indeed. I've seen some athletes protected, so to speak, by being put up against a moderate field, but that's not the case today for the Olympic heptathlon champion. And there is the lineup. Sarita Solomon goes in lane 1, European indoor bronze medalist this year for Great Britain. Tiffany Porter, the European champion outdoors and the defending Manchester City Games champion in 2. Ennis-Hill, Jessica Ennis-Hill, her first competition for 21 months, goes in lane 3, the Olympic heptathlon champion. And Lucy Hatton, one of the sensations of the indoor season for Great Britain, goes in lane 4. A baptism of fire, you could call this. Solomon, Porter, Ennis-Hill, and Hatton. Away they go. Good start from Tiffany Porter. Ennis-Hill looking a little bit lacking in sharpness. Hatton leading at the moment on the near side. Porter and she having a real battle. Ennis-Hill trying to come back at them in third place at the moment, but Porter's leading and easing away towards the line and taking that one comfortably by 1.5 meters. Ennis-Hill in third place with Hatton between the winner Porter and Ennis-Hill, with Solomon back in fourth place. But that from Jessica Ennis-Hill, well, I think she'll be very, very pleased indeed that her little venture back into the competitive arena has turned out to be safe and secure and relatively successful. Brilliant run from Porter. And Ennis-Hill, I think she'll be, and she and her coach, Stuart, will be absolutely delighted with that Tony Minicello.
Yeah, I think so. I think Hatton went well on the near, Lucy Hatton ran well on the near side, but certainly Porter looked very, very good indeed at 12.87. An anxious look on the face of Lucy Hatton. It's good to see her. She got a best this season of 12.84. So she's improving race by race. And Jessica, well, it's her first race, and you've got to say that this is bound to lack a little bit of edge. You see, you can be as quick as you like in training, but it's about actual competition. A technique lacking a little bit there, but that's the sort of raggedness you get at the start of a season.
Well, confirmation of that win for Tiffany Porter, a class apart. 12.86 there, winning by 2 meters from Lucy Hatton, with Jessica Ennis-Hill, a season's best 13.14 for her. She's back, and now she can start making inroads towards world class once again. Solomon in fourth.
Last year was a good year. I just want to kind of build upon that and do even better this season and hopefully come away with the gold in Beijing.
It was just such a nice feeling to be back on the start line and lining up for a race again, so it's a good feeling.
And how difficult has it been being away for the sport for that length of time after the high of London?
Yeah, it's been different for me because obviously I've not been away for injury or anything disappointing. I've been away for an amazing thing, having my son. So it's been very mixed feelings, but it's just great to be back now.
Well, let's have a look at the start list for the relay now. There's a changeover between 90 and 110 metres. The United States in lane 1, Great Britain and Northern Ireland in 2. There's another British team in 3, and the All-Stars in lane 4.
Female from each of those teams.
Well, let's see who comes out of the blocks well. Look at that. Jessica Young going well on the far side, and also DINA Asher-Smith on the inside. DINA Asher-Smith going well. Look at this for Great Britain. And UJAH has got the baton now, and so has Mike Rogers. UJAH is going to come through and take this one for a very good run by Asher-Smith and UJAH. And they're way, way, way. And I think that Mike Rogers had terrible problems with the baton, and I don't think it got anywhere. And also Jessica Young and Mike Rogers, that duo didn't get the baton across. I said it might well help to get the baton across at some stage.
Yeah, second left there, Asher-Smith, absolutely fabulous. She won the 150 earlier, and she continues in that sort of form here. She was getting chased down by Jessica Young, but a real mess there, and they couldn't get the baton across. The Americans over in lane 1 to the right of that picture. UJAH here, easing away very comfortably indeed to win from Richard Kilty in second place. And on the near side, Kim Collins coming through for third place. The same position he took in the individual 100. But that's a lovely changeover from from Asher-Smith to UJAH. And my word, did the Jessica Young, Mike Rogers changeover go wrong?
He was looking around, that look on her face when you know the baton's not there and you're running near the end of the zone. It really is quite something.
I wonder whether or not there was a chance to practice that one, Stu. Practice makes perfect.
Yeah, it's a bit just off shot on the right. But just looking at UJAH coming through here with Great Britain, well, a Great Britain 2 on paper. Well, not on paper, I guess. They were pretty even sides, but it's about getting the baton over. There it is, Great Britain from Great Britain. The All-Stars in the United States disqualified.
Thanks for the entertainment, guys. That was fantastic. We rarely see a 2 by anything relay. And you were victorious, CJ, and that was a pretty good time.
Yeah, I mean, it was a good start from DINA, so she just basically set me up and I just ran away, really.
DINA did all the legwork, is what you're saying, and the handover was pretty good.
Yeah, like no practice, it went quite well. I was quite scared going to some like runs 999. So yeah, it went well. I was quite happy.
And Bianca, I saw you when the time came up, you went, that's not bad.
Yeah, it's pretty decent. It's just a bit of fun. We all enjoyed it, so that's good.
Have you ever done a 2 by whatever relay before?
No.
And what was it like, Richard, for you to be part of it?
It was just really fun to go out there and come first and second with the two Great Britain teams, and me and Bianca have never ran together, so we had pretty good changeovers, but I'd love to do them again. It was fun, really good.
A satisfactory reintroduction to athletics for Jess Ennis-Hill then, blowing away the cobwebs after a year away from the sport. Next up for us is another doubleheader, the Great North City Games and Morrison's Great North Run in September. Keep up to date though on our website, greatrun.org. But now from Manchester, goodbye.